In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you a few of the most valuable and profitable email list building and newsletter subscriber growth strategies available today. If starting or growing your email list or increasing the number of newsletter subscribers that you have is important to you, and it should be, then you're definitely going to want to stick around because I'm going to give you 5 different strategies to help you do just that. And these are the exact same strategies that I'm using today in my own business as well as with my clients and my students to help them build often massive and wildly profitable email lists and newsletters. So let me show you how it's done. And it all starts by first taking a look at one of the most interesting new ways to build your email list, Instagram's link sticker. For a long time, the ability to put links inside Instagram stories through the swipe up feature was limited only to a few high profile creators and those with 10,000 followers or more. Well, those days are now gone, as Instagram appears to have listened to its creator community by first replacing the swipe up feature with a new link sticker, and then, in even better news, making the link sticker publicly available to all. As Instagram publicly announced, we made this decision based on feedback we heard from the community about how impactful it would be for creators and businesses of all sizes to benefit from link sharing, to grow in the same way larger accounts do. This is really powerful because what was once a very severe limitation of the Instagram platform, at least in regards to sending traffic off the platform, and certainly in regards to building your email list, well, it now appears to have been removed or replaced. And now creators and marketers and business owners and entrepreneurs of all sizes can add these links to their stories, giving them even more powerful ways to send traffic off the platform in order to build your email list or pretty much anything else you can think of. And using this new link sticker feature is drop dead simple. First, you need to make a new story. Then just click the sticker button and click on link. Then just enter your URL or where you want to send the traffic to and customize your sticker text. Then once that part's done, all you need to do is tap on the link in order to change its color, and you can even add another sticker or something to draw more attention to the link, like maybe an arrow or something. And that's it. You've now got a link driving traffic to your email list directly from your Instagram story. Okay, moving on to tip number 2, which is all about leveraging other people's audiences. When it comes to growing your email list and getting more newsletter subscribers, well, a rising tide really does lift all boats, which is basically just a fancy way of saying that what's good for one is good for all. When you win, I win, and they win too. And smart marketers and business owners and content creators know this. This is why affiliate launches and joint venture partnerships and cross promotion and all of those strategies are still incredibly effective and still very much used today. And when it comes to making connections and building relationships and sharing resources and cross-promoting each other's audiences, well, there really is no shortage of available options. But there are 3 platforms in general that I've found exceptionally good at growing your email list. So let me cover those now. The first option is podcasting, and ideally to become a guest on somebody else's podcast. Because when you show up as a guest on someone else's podcast, invited of course, and you give a ton of value, you make a connection, you share some important or valuable information, or you're somewhat entertaining, well, it's only natural that a certain percentage of that audience is going to want to learn more about you, about your business, about your offer, about your email list, and probably even sign up. For example, a good friend of mine, Cody Birch, has a podcast called Cody Builds a Business, and I've been a guest on a couple times over the past few years, and sure enough, these episodes continue to drive traffic and email subscribers to this day. It's also a good podcast, and Cody's a cool guy, so you should check it out. Blogging, and again, ideally guest blogging or writing articles for other publications, is another great way to drive traffic back to your website and to your email list. For example, this article that I wrote right here for Digital Marketer on how to start a career in digital marketing continues to drive traffic and leads and email list subscribers, again, right up to this day. The third option, and the one that I probably like best because it's most congruent with the kind of audience that you're trying to build, is by doing something called email list cross promotion. Essentially, just cross promoting someone else's email list with your email list and your email list with their email list. You can do this by writing emails for someone else, or by mentioning someone else in return for them writing emails for you, or mentioning you, or whatever else you can negotiate. Now, what makes this strategy so powerful though is that it's congruent, meaning that you're getting people that actively engage with and consume other email newsletters. This makes it significantly more valuable than other kinds of audiences because someone that watches, say, YouTube may not necessarily subscribe to a whole bunch of newsletters. Same thing goes with having a large Instagram following, or Facebook, or TikTok. TikTok, or whatever it is. These audiences don't necessarily translate and cross-platform promote. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Again, email list to email list is very streamlined, very straightforward, and very congruent. So if you do have friends or colleagues or even quasi-competitors that serve the same kind of people, but perhaps with a different offer, might be worth reaching out and making that relationship. All right, next let's talk about content upgrades. Essentially, a content upgrade is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's a way to continue the conversation, to provide even more value, to essentially build on whatever piece of initial content that someone was first presented with. For example, let's say that you've got a piece of content like a blog post or a podcast episode or a YouTube video, anything like that, titled 5 Evergreen Content Marketing Tips. Well, a content upgrade that you could provide in exchange for someone's email address could be something like, sign up now to get 10 more content marketing tips. Enter your email below to get a free copy of our Evergreen Marketing Blueprint. Or join our newsletter today and get free and immediate access to our Evergreen Content Marketing Training. The key with a content upgrade is to not only find something that's valuable, but also something that's directly relevant to the piece of content that you've just created, and then put it behind an email opt-in form. In marketing talk, we would call this content upgrade gated content because it's going to be behind something that they need to opt in to receive, and we would call the content that they receive without having to do anything ungated content. Just a little quick tip for you there. Now that strategy works fantastic, but if you're willing to put a couple dollars behind your email list growth strategy, well, there's a strategy that started to work again that we've pretty much all but given up on for a number of years. In fact, what was once one of the lowest performing advertising objectives that we pretty much ever used has quickly become kind of a rising leader, a dominant player in the field. I'm talking, of course, about the Facebook lead gen ad, or the Facebook lead ad. So let me show you what's changed and why now may be the time to take these old Facebook lead ads off the shelf, dust them off, and put them back into your campaigns. First things first. A Facebook lead ad, sometimes referred to as a Facebook lead gen ad or even just a lead ad, is really nothing more than an advertisement or an ad that takes place entirely inside the Facebook network. Meaning that when a Facebook user clicks on a Facebook lead ad, rather than being directed off of Facebook and towards a landing page or a sales page or anything like that, they stay right on Facebook and they're prompted to fill out a form or answer any questions that you design and implement inside your lead ad. Then all you need to do is integrate your email server, or you could download the leads manually, or you could do what I prefer doing, which is using a software called LeadsBridge to automatically sync and integrate all of the leads that you get directly with your platform of choice. Now, in the past, what we typically found with Facebook lead ads is that the leads that they generated tended to be, well, cheaper, but also of a significantly lower quality. And this makes sense because the amount of effort that's required to fill out a Facebook lead ad, where often Facebook populates much of the information automatically, well, that effort typically is a whole lot less, which means that you get a less qualified and less interested lead. And while your results may vary thanks to changes in cookies and pixels and tracking, that's right, I'm talking about you, iOS 14. Well, these once forgotten ad objectives are making a comeback, especially among those who know how to use them well. Of course, to make your Facebook lead ad work, as well as one of the pieces of advice and something that ties all of this together is really an understanding that, brace yourself for this one, nobody wants to sign up for another email newsletter. And this is why, in order to capture a lead, in order to get somebody's contact information and their email address, you need to offer something in return, in exchange, and it's got to be something good. One option, of course, is to use the content upgrade strategy that I talked about earlier, but there is a better option, especially if you want to scale quickly and to a much higher level, and that is to use a dedicated lead magnet. First off, a lead magnet, often sometimes called a freebie or an opt-in bribe or a freemium, or yes, even a content upgrade, well, it's just basically something that you're giving away in exchange for a prospect's contact information, specifically their email address. The right kind of lead magnet acts as a magnet for the right kind of lead that you want to attract. And just like a magnet attracts certain kinds of things, in this case certain kinds of people, well, you also want to push away or repel other kinds of people, people that just aren't going to be the right fit for whatever it is that you're offering. And this is why the best lead magnets are both relevant and valuable to the specific kind of person that you're trying to attract and grow your email list or newsletter with. For example, if all you cared about was building up the biggest, most massive email list of all times, and you didn't care about who was on that list, or where they came from, or what they cared about, or anything like that, well, you could pretty much give anything away and it would work. For example, you could give away a free coffee, or a free iPad, or a car, piles of money. The point is that lead quantity is only somewhat important, and it needs to be balanced and married with lead quality. You need both. And again, this means being specific and relevant and valuable to the exact kind of market and exact kind of person that you're trying to attract. As an example, let's say that your ideal customer avatar, your ideal target market that you're trying to go after is, say, marketing professionals. Well, a good lead magnet could be a discount off of marketing software or a CRM. It could be a marketing funnel blueprint in the exact niche or market that you're trying to appeal to. Or it could be a launch checklist or a strategic planning template or anything like that. Basically, these are all things that a marketer would love, but everybody else in the world would quite happily pass on. I'm signing up for all of those. Now, when it comes to choosing the right lead magnet format for you, there really is no end or limit to the available options, from cheat sheets to blueprints to how-to guides to checklists to discounts to pretty much anything you can think of. But one lead magnet that seems to be working exceptionally well to grow massive email lists and do it very quickly is a quiz. Essentially, using automated software to ask people questions and then deliver them in return the results of their survey or of their quiz or of their questionnaire. Unique and relevant and specific answers, unique and relevant and specific to them. And people love this stuff. Quizzes work great for both B2C, what kind of cupcake am I? Carrot cake with frosting, I'll take it. As well as B2B. What marketing strategy is best for your business? Airplane banner advertising? Who wrote this thing? Quizzes are effective because they thrive off the ingrained forces of human curiosity and novelty, as well as personalization. But there's another benefit to using quizzes as a lead gen tool and email list growing strategy as well, and that is that it gives you, as the email list owner, a tremendous amount of valuable information about your target market. For example, depending on what you're asking inside your quiz, you can figure out your market's pains and problems and fears and frustrations, as well as all of their wants and goals and dreams and all of the things they're hoping to achieve. You can then use this information in all of your future marketing to make it that much more effective. With all that said, there are still more things that you can do to grow your email list and make all of your email marketing that much more effective. And that's why the next thing you're going to want to do is check out the video I've got linked up right here on email marketing secrets. So make sure to check it out now, and I'll see you in the next video. When we're talking about email marketing, this is not a new tactic. It's not a shiny tactic. It's not even really a sexy tactic. But the reality is this is a proven and effective strategy.